Today, we're going to talk about coffee machines. It's Dennis, and welcome to Barista Experience YouTube channel. Do me a favor, pull out your smartphone and start searching espresso machine in your e-commerce platform such as Shopee or Lazada. See what is the result that you found. Isn't it confusing for you to choose which espresso machine to go? Now let's talk business. Now in YouTube, you got to see and watch a lot of coffee machines review, but nobody really talk about what is the objective of each technology behind. The first technology from the lowest end, which is friendly to your pocket, is single boiler and also Thermoblock, which you can find about 1,000 ringgit plus minus. The cheapest one, generic brand, could cost around 300 ringgit in an e-commerce platform. Now, single boiler Thermoblock technology is pretty simple. Here is the pictogram. Now, the objective is simple, pocket friendly. It has a bigger size and smaller size. Now, the pros of such technology, number one is definitely pocket friendly. Number two is small footprint. Now, what's the con of technology? Number one, it's very difficult for you to repeat the result that you wish for. For example, maybe you have a guest to serve like 3 cups of coffee. I think you have trouble of second cup or the third cup because usually Thermoblock will be smaller footprint, that means smaller boiler. So if you want to consecutively want to make 3 cups of coffee, I think it's very hard for you to repeat the result. The next technology that we have is something like Gaggia Classic, a copper boiler or stainless steel boiler. Now, the pro of such technology, for example, like Gaggia Classic, the portafilter is 58 mm, so you can share it along the technology with all the commercial coffee machines. The next, I would say it is a boiler, so that means it has like 100 something ml of boiler capacity, so you can really repeat the result if you're searching for middle to low end quality kind of espresso. So I believe that I strongly recommend some machine like this for entry level. Now for cons, pretty simple for some machine like this. First of all, it is fairly big in size and footprint. So if you have a small kitchen, don't think this is suitable. Second, the price is quite costly. A machine like this, entry level machine like this, it can cost up to 3,000 ringgit. And the third one, the aesthetic of this machine is quite down, and the machine has been quite long. They never redesigned some sort. So, but if you can accept all these cons, I think a Gaggia Classic machine is the right model for you to proceed of your journey to learn coffee. Now, just now we mentioned about single boiler in terms of Thermoblock and single boiler. Right now, we're about to introduce you heat exchanger. What happened is Thermoblock single boiler and boiler single boiler, they can't really consecutively make coffee then steam milk. That's why there's a single boiler heat exchanger that can allows you to make coffee and continuously steam milk. Let's talk about pro for a heat exchanger machine like Oscar 2. The very big point it is you can make coffee and then milk steaming. So you compare with other two models that we mentioned, Thermoblock and a single boiler. So in contrast, you can do so with a heat exchanger machine. Now, traditionally, heat exchanger machine, there's no PID control, so you can't really have a brew temperature control, for example, like Oscar 2. Now, the other thing is the footprint, the box size definitely bigger than compared with the single boiler, the other technology like Thermoblock and single boiler. And then also the third one will be the price. The price will be significantly higher than the other technologies we mentioned. The next technology I want to introduce to you all will be the double boiler or dual boiler. For the dual boiler, usually is meant for middle to high-end home users, or could be a small cafe focuses on probably like baking, bakery stuff like pastries, but not meant for high volume. Now, the pro on such a dual boiler machine, obviously it will be brew temperature control or PID control. If you brew with a darker roast, you can definitely lower down the brew temperature. If you want to have a lighter roast, definitely you can jack up the temperature. And also vice versa with the milk steamer. If you feel like the milk steamer strength is too low, you can jack up the temperature so it become much more stronger. Vice versa with if you want to have it weaker, like slightly not so strong of milk steaming, you definitely can lower down the temperature. And one more pro will be the plumbing capability. Unlike other technology, usually dual boiler machine will come with the plumbing technology. So that means you don't have to keep on filling up the water. You can just connect the water pipe to your source, or you can just connect with the blue bottle with the flow jet. So I would say there are few cons. For one is obviously it's much more costly. Number two, usually dual boiler will be slightly bigger size, or it could be double the size of the heat exchanger machine. The next technology I want to introduce to you all will be the dual boiler saturated group head. Now, saturated group head usually is middle to higher end machines. Now, if you can see the pictogram over here, the group head, on top of the group head, there's a boiler which is connecting to the horizontal boiler behind for the machine. Let's talk about the pro for saturated group head machine. The water coming out from the boiler will be very close towards the coffee pot. That means you have much more lesser in terms of heat loss. Now for this technology is very good if you have a higher volume in terms of pop-up or a small cafe. Usually the companies that produce such technology will be a reputable one. For example, like Llama Zoco, Victoria Arduino, Slayer Espresso machine, stuff like this. So usually it comes with a package of nicer in terms of design and aesthetic, and also much more reputable brand. The cons will be not very friendly toward the pocket into your wallet. The second will be large machine. Usually it comes with very fairly big and broad machine, and yeah, I believe that's those are the cons that all this machine could perform. Now, if you're home brewers entry level, I would suggest you to get something like heat exchanger like Oscar 2, or could be a Profitec, and also could be a Gaggia Classic. Now, if you're looking for some budget-friendly but yet reliable coffee machines, I would suggest you to get something like Gaggia Classic Pro, Profitec Pro 400, or Nova Simonelli Oscar 2. Now, if you're a small business owner, a small cafe business owner, I would suggest you to get something like dual boiler, like E61 dual boiler, something like Lalit Bianca, or Rocket R58, or Linear Mini by Llama Zoco. So these are the machines that allows you to have a plumbing capability, so you will not need to keep on adding water into water reservoir. That will disrupt your business flow. Alright, thank you everyone. I hope that this video you got something from it, and thanks for watching. See you next time.